Yes, ma'am, I sure am. Thank you.
I'm
How
so
is
glad.
everyone?
All right, folks, I'm almost done. I realize when I start the recording, it makes you accept that. So apologies for that. That's a Zoom thing. I was on the receiving end the other day, so that's why I'm like, okay. It's just setting up YouTube live and we'll get started. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, today we're going to look at local SEO and getting found and making sure
Yes,
people
we
find you.
are good to go, folks. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. I don't know if there's a good morning somewhere, but maybe. Okay. Welcome to our seventh in the series of small business marketing tips, tricks, and trends. Yeah, do's and don'ts. How are you, Cindy?
Good. Great to see you. How about you?
All good, all good. Welcome, Sanjay Dalal, the host, and Cindy is our co-host, which means I need to make her the co-host. There you go. All right. So today's session is pretty fascinating. We're going to talk about local marketing and really why that's relevant and important. So we're going to make the case. We're going to share a couple of examples, and then we're going to give you some takeaways. And we run really fast, but make sure you have your questions along the way. And actually, the first question Cindy had about keywords. What are keywords?
I do.
Why is
I've
it
got a couple of questions.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Everybody on the call.
Yeah.
First question is, do you have 4 or 5 keywords that you would use on your website to make sure that you're, promoting and using? And keywords might be something that your clients, your customers, your prospects would find you if they type those in. Does anybody here have a list of a few or a lot of keywords? Anybody at all? Nice. Couple of yeses. Awesome.
Is it for the website SEOs or what?
Yeah, exactly so. For your website SEO, do you have keywords defined? Yes. Anybody wanting to work on that?
Yeah, for your customers to find you. And yeah, SEO is another way of thinking about it. Yep.
I don't have everything input there. I'm still working on it, but yeah.
That's why we're here, right?
Being lazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. And then I have a second question, and then I'll be back over to you, Sanjay. My other question is, have you claimed your Google My Business listing on Google?
So I tried several times, even with the LinkedIn, verifying. Never happens with me. Every time they block or do this something problem I'm having. I'm trying my best, like sending the videos of the local place, and I do have my business operating address as my home. So even like I'm putting that thing in the market, but no, it's not. So I'm still like, I applied again.
By challenge.
Yeah, so I'm still waiting for the result. They said they will send me in 4 or 5 days. Let's hope.
Yes.
True.
Anybody else Google My Business? Did you claim your listing? Have you thought about it? I had someone come and do a service at our house a week or so ago, and I went to leave them a review thinking, of course, they want more customers, and they don't even pop up, and I couldn't even leave a review. So we wanted Google My Business and get that claimed. Anybody else have a comment about it, or have you claimed yours? All right, I see a couple thumbs up, a couple thumbs down in the chat. So those are my 2 questions I want to start with, but I want to pop over to you, Sanjay, because I see you prepped some info on this very thing.
No, absolutely. So, folks, if you can mute your mics, or if you have a question, definitely unmute during the conversation. And please introduce yourself, right? So this is your session. So in the chat, you can share what you do, your business, your contact info, like a phone or email, whatever makes sense, right? And that way folks can get in touch with you. But that's our today's session, local marketing and AI, and especially how AI has has impacted local marketing and where it has and where it hasn't. And this is a nice photo created with ChatGPT. It used ChatGPT to create this awesome photo. It's pretty awesome to create this. That's me. Yeah, that's me. All right. Times are changing, right? With the whole advance of AI in all of marketing. And that's Cindy. Cindy, yes.
Hey,
Hello, hello. So, and we are doing this series of sessions that, as I said earlier, this is our seventh session in a row. We're going to keep going. The next one is coming up on August 28th, where we're going to talk about the impact of social media on business, right? And what are some of the key business platforms you got to be thinking about. Today's session is, of course, on local marketing. And let's jump right into it. A quick word on oGoing and what we do. We are a small business community. Would love for every small business here on this call to join. It's free to join. Just go to oGoing.com or oGoing.net. And we are growing every day. We got 30, 40 businesses who are applying to join. It's verified businesses only. So we actually make sure that everybody who's applying, they have a real profile, they have real business, and they've filled out all the right information before they get on oGoing. And once they're on oGoing, we really help you boost your website traffic. It's a great place to network with fellow business owners and partners. And also it helps you boost your SEO and your brand. So, it's a community that really gives back a lot more after you put some time into creating your awesome profile and start networking. So please join. Takes 5 minutes and the rewards are amazing. Quick word on Kokoro by Cindy.
yeah. So I worked in sales for a long time and then doing marketing. And then I started my own company doing marketing for other businesses who really wanted their marketing to start a sales conversation. And I kept getting all these calls like, what's working? What should I do? So if you want a little bit of my book, you can get a free chapter. Just text the word 7 to me and I'll put my number in the chat. It's 530-203-5703, because I wrote down the 7 things that work the best that we do for our clients day in and day out. And you can take those things and use them for yourself. I'm happy to share.
Absolutely. And is oGoing important for online businesses? Absolutely. It gives you a great platform for sharing your products, services, tips, videos, and a lot more. So absolutely, please do join and share your business on oGoing. But today we're going to search for the local business and why this is relevant and important for us. Because a lot of business is done locally, folks, right? I mean, if you like even today's session, a lot of folks would be from a certain geography, maybe Southern California, maybe California. But the fact of nature is that, if you are a service provider, if you are a business, a lot of your companies and your customers are local. And if you look at search engines like Google of the world, 46% of the searches are for local business. Imagine that, 46%, substantial. And Google searches are in the billions every day, right? So not only that, 40% of traffic, it comes from local businesses for local searches. So a lot of 40% of organic traffic. And then if you look at the consumers, 98% of consumers are looking for your local business online. So again, if you're not found locally, the bottom line is you're not going to be found. So then you have to work really hard through word of mouth and everything else you do. But it makes sense to for you to have this awesome local presence. And why that's important even more, because a lot of businesses and your audiences, they're reading reviews about you and your company. 98%. So again, if you're not having reviews, that's a problem too. So make sure it's not just enough to have local presence or a local listing. but it's also important to make sure you have lots of local reviews, and we're going to look into that very quickly. And reviews, they matter because not only it helps you, improve your click-through rate or CTR significantly, but it also helps you influence the purchase decision, from your local customers. So again, 63% of local customers, they're looking at reviews, right? So, it's pretty amazing that you have that. And then you think about, well, what are your customers looking for when they're searching for you locally? Well, they are, of course, looking for your location if you have a storefront. If you're an online business, they're looking for your products. But if you have a retail business, they're looking for your location. They're, of course, looking for reviews, as we spoke about, and they're looking as to when you're open, your operating hours, as well as they're trying to find if you have a website, and then they're going to go look at your website. But before all of that happens, they're going to search for you locally first. And then which industries they have the highest intent, if you may, from local? Well, of course, retail business is important, healthcare as well. If you are a pharmacy, if you are a doctor, a dentist, a chiropractor, anything in healthcare. Restaurants, a lot of us, look for restaurants, especially if you are trying to find a new place to go out for food or coffee or a nice evening dinner. And services, so this is important, folks. Services, especially if you're a local service provider, be it in insurance, be it in photography, be it in marketing, or in any of the consumer or business services. Again, a lot of people are searching locally for you.
That was an interesting statistic about the buying intent. I didn't realize that.
Absolutely. Because, and the key is, if you're not found, then what happens if your competition gets found, then it's game, set, match, right? So it's important that you do get found when folks are searching for you, right? In any of this category. This is just the top categories, but the list continues on, right? And they are searching from everywhere, right? Not just from their phones, which is very important. On the phone, they are looking on the apps as well as from the browsers, be it Chrome or Safari. They're also searching for you from the desktop and the laptops, and they're using the apps like Google Maps or Apple Maps, tablets, right? iPads and any tablet that you're using. So again, why am I even sharing this? Because it's important that your website and whatever you created, your local presence, is something that they can see you on any of these devices, right? So it's very important that you should do this. And then, of course, look at this, guys, where they are searching. This is very, very important. So, of course, Google is the #1 search engine. Cindy talked about having your presence on Google Business earlier. I mean, that is a starting point for sure. But then also don't forget that there are all these other places where your customers are trying to find you online, locally, right? So you got to make sure that your business is listed on all these places, folks, and make sure your listing is accurate, right? Because many times you may have made a listing last year or the year before, you haven't updated it, maybe your phone number has changed, maybe the address has changed, something else that you provide, you added more services, etc., right? So you have to verify and ensure that your listings are correct and accurate and recent on all these places. Any place here that you're not listed on, make sure you spend some time today, tomorrow, this week to add your business to this, at least some of this, if not all of this. And I'll tell you why, because some of the trends are changing. So some of the places you see here, they were not there like 2 or 3 years ago, but now they're here, right? So So what that means is your customers are looking for you on Facebook, on Yelp, on Better Business Bureau. Believe it or not, they are. I mean, on Apple Maps, that's a growing trend, especially if folks are searching using the Apple Maps app on their iPhones, right? So you have to make sure that you are listed there as well. But beyond the usual suspects, here are the other places your customers are looking for you online as well. They're looking for you in local news. Yeah. So that's very interesting, right? So to get listed on the local newspaper or have somebody write an article about you in OC Register or LA Times, that's a huge boost for your business. Or even a local, ultra local news agency, right? So because again, when you get mentioned in those areas, you do get a boost in terms of traffic, but also in terms of your SEO value and all the visibility as well. And then on social platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, they all drive local traffic back to you. Now, obviously, Instagram doesn't say, hey, list your business. What it means is you have to have an Instagram business profile and make sure that you are sharing your content actively on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Reddit. How many of you are on Reddit? Have you heard about Reddit? Okay. Reddit is really a news reading platform where there's a lot of dialogues and conversations around news. And that seems to be driving a lot more local business traffic nowadays, right? So again, look at Reddit as well. Twitter is still around, right? So now it's called X. So you ought to make sure you are on Twitter and you're sharing some of your business content there. And then there is a new social platform called Threads that's actually created by Meta. So again, but the most interesting here is the last one here, ChatGPT. Now I use ChatGPT a lot for helping me create AI content or giving me ideas, research, also the image that I shared earlier, right? But a lot of folks are actually using ChatGPT, believe it or not, to search for even local businesses. So again, what I'm saying is the games have changed, folks, right? So you have to think about all these platforms. I'm not saying you become active on all of this. Part of your strategy has to be that which platform makes sense for me today, and then which platforms I will start working on, tomorrow, and then the day after, and so on, right? But the key is your customers are searching for you in any of these platforms. So you have to have a strategy in place to make sure you get found. So before I get into the whole review side of things, let's take a couple of questions. Cindy, I know I wanted to share a lot of quick infos.
That was
but
great.
Yeah, but let's take a couple of questions here. Go ahead, folks. Any questions, or we should take some examples now and show you what's happening in the real world?
I mean, I think it looks kind of overwhelming to have that giant list of like, I should do this and I should do this. Am I the only one here that's like, oh man, that's a lot?
Well, it is overwhelming, yes, Cindy, but I think the challenge is this, that your customers are everywhere, right? So think about it from
True.
that point of view.
True,
They are active on Facebook. And actually, I did not know that Facebook is up to 40%. Frankly, when even I, as a marketeer, was doing research for today's session,
All the people
I was
who
overwhelmed myself that people are searching for us on all these platforms. So let me share that, right? The proof is in the pudding, right? So
yes.
let's see. Let me just share my desktop. I hope I'm not having something open here, which is crazy here, but no, I'm just kidding. But here is the browser here. Let's see right here. So yeah, on that note, here is Facebook Marketplace. And now why am I saying this? Right. So I did a search for refrigerator repair service near me. I'm like, why would people be searching for this on Facebook Marketplace? But here are the answers I'm seeing. And this is, I could actually change it to, I said, date listed in the last 30 days. So look at this. And I said, I want somebody like close to where I live in Irvine, within 6 miles, right? So I'm like, who are all these people? And these are actual real folks offering the appliance repair services right here where I live. Some of them are repeating themselves, so they're trying to game the system. But the point I'm trying to make is, so where is all this coming from? This is coming from the Facebook marketplace. So that means if you are a service provider or if you are providing local business services, that tells me that you have to be here on the marketplace and sharing your services. Now, I don't think anybody's going to offer me a $7 repair service, but the point I'm trying to make is the listings are there and folks are sharing. Besides the fact that, yes, the same answers I can get on ChatGPT. Very interesting. I asked this question. My refrigerator freezer is icing up, is actually a fact. And can you recommend 3 contractors who can repair or replace the refrigerator gasket? And I want to be hyper local. I said in Irvine, I don't want answers from Los Angeles or somewhere out there, right? And boom, now ChatGPT gave me the answer. So that tells me that, and they said here are 3 highly recommended contractors. I wasn't convinced. I'm like, where are these answers coming from, right? And
So they
so
pull it from, ChatGPT is pulling it from the web, going out and doing a quick search on the web?
yeah, exactly. So they search
Mhm.
different articles. And so this is the 9%. But what I'm saying is this is the new trends that we are seeing. Of course, I had asked the question on Google as well, right here. Oh, sorry. There's Google, right? Right here, appliance repair services. This is, of course, the 81%. They're going to search on Google, refrigerator door seal or gasket replacement near me. So again, I had to modify the search a little bit. And yes, it gave me answers. But what is interesting is these are at the top, this is the Google guaranteed answers from the repair folks at Google has certified. But I wanted to show you something here, interestingly. So a lot of these guys, you can get their phone numbers, but there are also a few folks now who are actually allowing you to share the messages with them directly. So I would say the next generation folks, they're going to be likely using the messaging service because a lot of them, they don't like to call. They like to message the company first, and then only after they respond, they will probably set up an appointment, for you to come home and check out the freezer.
Oh, I gotta see if I have messaging set up on mine. I'm gonna look.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if not, I'm
please.
doing it today.
Yeah, so make sure. So this particular repair guy had 205 reviews. By the way, somebody that has only 5-star reviews only, I got a little queasy with that. But let's say this person here, smart and fast appliance service, which is also recommended by ChatGPT, by the way. So let's go and see what they're all about. And it's trying to open their listing. I'm having a little issue with internet. Wow, Murphy's Law. There you go. So smart and fast appliance service in OC. It used to be like you can call, but because I'm on my desktop right now, that's why I'm saying get the phone number. If you're on your iPhone or Android phone, you can just click and call them directly. But here's a message. And this is Google guaranteed business, right? So it tells you it has the license, blah, blah, blah. And it includes all the repair services, including repairing a refrigerator, which is important, and including the freezer, right? Because that's where my problem is, right? With the gasket and all that. So it's important that those keywords are listed in all the
Mhm.
services you provide, guys, right? Because otherwise, this business would not have shown up if I hadn't put in
Right.
inquiry that I need somebody to come and replace the gasket. Gasket is that big sticky thing, right? That's on the door. Is the seal, right? That seals the refrigerator door with the actual refrigerator, right? That's called gasket, by the way. So, okay, I see this. I can send a message to the business saying, hey, I can give the details. I need gasket repair. It already has my info in here, right? Because I'm logged in. And bam, and then hopefully they will respond to me quickly, right? I'm not going to do it now, but that's the beauty of the messaging. Now we looked at different platforms, right? So there is Yelp as well, which offers refrigerator door seal repair. And here is, I can request a quote from Yelp. Yelp also offers you a similar thing where you can request a quote not only from this company, but up to 2 or 3 other providers. I like that a lot. Or in this case, another company where you can even schedule your service right now. So they have scheduling built in. Google has also offered that now. What else? This is your Google business behind the scenes, right? So this is where you can ask folks to give you reviews, right? So why am I showing you this? So here is, if I look at this business's profile, and this is where you have to share your link. Now, some other platforms, they don't like you to ask your customers for review, but Google actually is happy with that. And they actually provide you a link, and then you can embed your code with the link, right? So what you should do is give customers a link to review your business on Google. You can copy this link, and then you can attach that to a code, right? The ones which you see on the actual retail walls, right? Or you can even share it via email. And then if you share the link, they will come and actually give you reviews, right? And the reviews are important. I'm going to get into reviews very soon. But in completeness, I also wanted to show you Apple Maps, right? Because that's where a lot of folks are searching online as well. And they're looking at their Apple Maps app mostly. I would say 90% is through the app on their phone, right? So the point I'm trying to make is that all these different platforms, we looked at it, and the goal is for you to at least have a strategy in place to make sure your business is found on these platforms. So what I want to do is, again, quickly show you the review side of things, why it's important. Because a lot of your customers are reading reviews and they're trying to verify that you have reviews on 2 sites, not just one. See this? 36% are looking for reviews because they are also thinking that, well, what if the business is gaming us? What if they're just acting on one side? Well, they want to be making sure that they'll search for reviews on Google and Yelp, or Google and Apple, or Google and Facebook, right? Or something like that. So make sure that you are focusing on at least 2 sites, right? As opposed to just one. And why is that important? But look at this, how often your consumers are reading online reviews when browsing for local businesses. Always 33% in 2024, and regularly 42%. Chanchala, you had a question? Go ahead.
So my question is, like, is there a way, like, if the person has given me reviews on Google, then it is also posted on Yelp and other stuff if I have? Is there a way to do that? Or do I need to tell them, oh, you posted there, you posted there?
No, so the customers they're looking for different platforms, right? So they're verifying it themselves. But if you're going to ask your customers for reviews, now Yelp doesn't like you asking customers for reviews. So Yelp, the only thing you can do is you can say my business is on Yelp. You can't say review me on Yelp, because if they find that out, they'll penalize you, right? You don't want that. But for Google, as I said, you can ask for reviews. You can do the same for Facebook. Actually, practically every other platform, you can tell your customers to review you there, right? And just make sure you share your QR code and have it listed on your email signature or on your social profile, saying here are the places where you can review us. So make it easy for them to find you and review you, right?
But
Okay.
I don't know of a way for that review to appear multiple places, Chanchala. If they review you on Facebook, it's not gonna automatically show up somewhere else. That said, Google will show sometimes, like it'll show Facebook reviews in addition to Google reviews, but the review itself isn't going to show up in multiple places. So I guess what we do is we mix it up a little bit. So sometimes I ask for Google reviews, sometimes we ask for LinkedIn, like kind of mix it around a little bit. We might even look at something and go, ooh, this one could use a boost, and we do a little quick campaign. And whatever it is, none of us are gonna remember to do it by ourselves. I'm a big fan of putting a system into place that automatically sends a, hey, how did you like everything? And you can include in that, like, if you feel like it, leave us some stars on Google, here's the link, that kind of thing. None of the platforms want you to check first, hey, if you liked us, then send them the link to Google. Like, they don't like that, though I know people do that. They check, do you happy first, then send the thing. But in any case, I recommend having a system in place that includes email or SMS requests, and then maybe, like, depending on your business, a physical card that's going to show like a QR code or something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great point, Cindy. And I think that there is something, if I may add, Cindy, there's a recency, right? So if customer had an experience with you, either at your retail storefront or through the service or product you provided, that you want to ask for review like quickly in a day or two, right? Because they're going to forget otherwise. So the key is the recency matters, right? Both in terms of asking the customers for reviews. It also matters when your customers are looking for you, because they're also saying, oh, when was the review left? Was it like a year ago or was it like last month? And if the review was last month, they actually provide more relevance to that, right? So because they don't want to see a business which hasn't had any recent review. That actually matters a lot too.
So who here on this call is actively getting reviews from their customers right now, from their clients? Anybody doing that on a regular basis? Or maybe I should ask the other question. Anybody wish they were doing that more frequently?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. You're in the right place then, because this is good.
Absolutely. And I want to share an example here. So here's a customer that actually gave a review to a company here, right? Which so it's a restaurant. And you don't have to read the whole review, but here's a customer. So let's say your customer gave you a review, and Cindy is actually using something interesting, and this is why I'm sharing the example. But then here were two responses that the company potentially provided: response 1 and response 2. Now, what is interesting here is that one of them is actually provided by the actual business owner, and the other response is provided by AI. And remember, I was talking about where does AI fit into all this, right? So obviously, Chat GPT tools and even Gemini you can use to search for local business providers, right? So that provides a beautiful response as opposed to you doing all the hard work and figuring things out. But having said that, AI can also help you with responding to reviews or responses, sorry. So AI will help you respond by using the right tools. So very interestingly, and then they asked the consumers which response was better. Well, the response 2 was by AI, and actually a lot of consumers, they loved the response better than the actual response provided by the owner. Now, are we saying AI is much better now in responding to customers? I think the jury is still out, but the fact of the matter is that AI did provide a better response in this particular scenario, with the way it said, hey, thank you for your fantastic review. We are thrilled. You enjoyed our funky vibe and delicious food. Bob will be delighted by your kind words. Can't wait to welcome you. Definitely a very enthusiastic response. Versus the owner, which, they also provided a decent response.
Yeah,
But,
it looks good.
Right, exactly, right? So
I
wouldn't use the AI response verbatim, but having said that, look, the consumers love the AI response better. So then who are we to say? And Cindy, you use a tool for this, right? What tool are you using?
I do. I use a AI responder to any reviews that we get. And I think it's just an easy thing to do. I keep an eye on it in case the AI says something crazy town, then I'm not gonna, I'm not necessarily gonna, I can update it, right? But yeah, we do use a tool. We use a couple things to request reviews. So I have something that does a request, and we have a little request system that sends out an email and a SMS. And then you also could, like, depending on your business, you could have like a little card or sign that goes with everything you do. And then, like you said, we also have the AI responding back. So I like it because it's a really quick response. It's done. I can be on this meeting talking to you guys and not have to be like doing stuff like responding to reviews, which is, it's all good. So yeah, I love a system. I'm a fan because as humans, we want to take our time to connect with people like this and then let the systems do their work and be in place, because I think we're all going to forget to ask for reviews. But the Google My Business and reviews and on-page experience are all things that those are signals that Google looks for when they're deciding if they're going to recommend you. And if they're recommending you, that's going to help you get found. So if we think about this whole on-page signals information, this is really what Google's. And I'm for the 80-20 rule. So I know that Sanjay, you showed us a whole bunch of stuff that we should probably be paying attention to, and I'm sure I should. But the 80-20 piece of me goes, well, if 80% of the people are using Google, I'm definitely putting a bunch of effort there. And then I'll pick some other stuff too.
Absolutely.
But I'm for sure throwing all in on that one.
I'm sharing more of a trend as to where it's
like it.
It used to be where 98% was Google, right? That was a while ago.
Right. Changed a lot.
I think, and obviously every business needs to be on Google, no doubt in my mind. But having said that, there are other platforms where for a certain business, it might be more conducive to make sure that they leverage other platforms, right? And one other thing I forgot to share, Cindy, is a lot of these platforms, they allow you to add your photos of your business. So make sure you add photos. Right. So Google has the ability to allow in the business where you can share your internal, external photos. Photos matter because a lot of consumers are, again, businesses as well, business professionals, they're searching to see. And if they see some awesome photos of your business, even I've seen even Apple Maps now and Yelp, they all are allowing you to add photos for creating that experience, which is otherwise not easy to see, right? And some of these new platforms like the social, of course, you can add the videos. So make sure you're adding some cool, fun videos. And we had a session on videos. You can create fun 15, 20-second videos, right? Very easily. So again, make sure you do that. And I think it's time for some takeaways. So let me just do that quickly and take a couple of questions in the end, because I'm looking at the time here. Right? So there you go. Yeah, last slide. Oh yeah, make sure you respond to all reviews because your customers are seeing that are you only responding to positive reviews or negative reviews? And if you're just doing that, then you are in that 50 odd percentage. But if you're responding to all reviews, then you get into the 80+%, right? 88%. So again, folks, just because somebody gave you a negative review, I mean, don't sulk, don't cry. Make sure you respond positively and try to convert that negative experience into a positive experience, hopefully next time around, right? Very important.
And there's a case for AI response because it's going to happen right away and isn't just going to sit there and be nasty. So I know that the AI responder is going to, and that costs a matter of cents. It's like not any money. It's just happening, small amount.
No, absolutely right. I mean, use AI, and I would say use AI a lot, both in creating content, photos, responding to reviews, analyzing your competition, checking what they're doing. AI is awesome for that. Put in your competitor name and ask ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever else you're using, Copilot, and say, hey, what are they doing, right? Where are they leading? Where are they failing, right? And you'll get a lot of great answers AI will give you a lot of good answers to your research questions. But here are the top takeaways on local marketing. Make sure a listing is current on the platforms that matter. So instead of saying all, I like what Cindy said, 80%, right? The 80-20 rule. Figure out your top 2 or 3 platforms that really matter to you and you know your customers are there. And make sure your listings are current and active. Cindy talked about creating the right content, right, earlier with the search intent. You need to know what your customer search intent is. If you don't know that, you're in trouble. So spend some time thinking about what are your customers really looking for? What are the keywords they're typing in? What are they going to be thinking about? And the more you think about that, the more about what their intent is, the better content you can create for your website, for your social media, for your listings. And then you marry the two, and now you're doing awesome, right? Authentic recent reviews matter. Responding to all reviews is also very important. And then, of course, staying very active on social platforms. Again, the ones that make sense, not all the 20, 30 things that I showed, but at least the ones that are relevant for your business. Want to share quickly the next session coming up on August 28 on how you can leverage your social media for your business in an active way, proactive way. And then for local folks who are in Irvine area, we have the next Business Growth Roundtable coming up on August 22nd at the Duck Club. So reach out to me and I'll share the link for that. But with that said, we will take any final questions, Cindy. Sorry, a lot of content, guys, and maybe
So much.
we showed a lot to you, but hopefully you can take some takeaways from here.
Well, who's got a thing they're going to do? Like, I'm going to make sure that someone can text me. So I'm going to go look at my Google My Business and update it so that someone can text me directly. That's a top takeaway for me. But out of all the things we talked about, texting, claiming Google My Business, keywords, reviews, photos, everything that got talked about there. Who's got one you can just jump in and say or put in the chat that you're going to do today or this week? Anybody?
Like texting you on your business or what? Like
I'm going to go to Google My Business and make sure, like Sanjay showed, there's he tried it. You click message and then you could message the business. So I'm going to make sure that's set up for my business. That's my goal.
oh yeah, I can try it for you.
Okay. But what goal do you have for your business? What are you going to do out of all the things that we talked about today? Do you have one that bubbled up for you that you're like, yes, I need to do that? Any goals maybe?
Oh, so this was very informative, like in a lot of things. A few of things I already know, but I'm such a lazy business owner. So, but yeah, the thing I need to do is more to get reviews and testimonials and put it on different sites and complete my SEOs. That's very important. And
Nice.
again, chase those Google guys for the business listing. So yeah, definitely.
Yes. You probably got to tackle that one. I love it. That's great. Anybody else have goals or a takeaway that you can put into action today or this week? We got something in the chat. Keywords. Awesome. Love it. Gonna go for maybe 4 or 5 of them or define them maybe. Nice.
Even ChatGPT helps a lot in finding the keywords for you. If you give them the exact business things, like what you do in detail, they find the right keywords for you. So.
Absolutely. It's a great tool for finding keywords, analyzing your competition. Right? It's use it a lot. And you don't have to pay, right? You can do a lot of the free service they offer, yeah.
And I've noticed like more you input there, more it feels like they're becoming your close friends.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Well, folks, thank you all for attending, being our regular supporters, enjoying the session, hopefully. And we are going to look you up again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, sure.
And we're going to hopefully focus on a couple of platforms and not overwhelm you at the next event. You know, and
I use a lot of LinkedIn, so I might talk about that
Yeah.
when we're on the
and by the
session.
way, we didn't share LinkedIn because today we kind of shared more on the B2C side or B2B2C. But by the way, LinkedIn. So somebody had asked me quickly earlier about, hey, do you know of a commercial real estate agent in Austin?
Right.
And I know this gentleman well, and I said, yeah, let me. So first I searched on oGoing, and actually I did find one agent, so I sent him a link. Then I said, hey, wait a moment, let me look at my contacts on LinkedIn. So on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, I went under the networking tab and looked at all my contacts and used the filters and said Austin commercial real estate agent. I actually found 4 or 5 that I was connected to.
Wonderful.
So LinkedIn actually does provide you the tools on the professional side of the business, right? If you're looking to connect to the right folks in business side. So I would say that's a topic we can definitely look into, Cindy, next time.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah. All right. Well, you all have a great day and the rest of the week, and we'll see you back in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.